Good evening and welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon, ready for Summon Night. Very excited about the King Sumo giveaway that we have later tonight. And also, Neindorf, you're going to be summoning another attempt at a Dread Knight. So we got a fun summon party here. We're going to go ahead, kind of the agenda for tonight. We're going to do our typical podcast, and then what we're going to do is we're going to end with the summon for the King Sumo giveaway. That's going to go ahead and close. And so for those of you catching the audio podcast after the fact, you'll get that piece. And then for our YouTube live listeners out there, we're going to keep the podcast going. We're going to invite everyone over to jump onto Discord. We're going to do some screen shares like we did last week. And do some more summoning challenges and hopefully get the summoning luck going and rolling. Last time we got a legendary, what was it? Legendary, what's the advanced class?
Seer, or Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter, yeah. With advanced, was it an elite ability?
I think that one had advanced, or maybe two advanced.
Two advanced. It was, so, yeah, I mean, we're
solid hero.
Yeah, we're flying high on the summon train right now. So, all right. Neindorf, how are you doing right now?
Doing well. I was celebrating a Gen 1 birthday today, so we had some fun stuff.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's always enjoyable. I'm personally, we're looking at moving, and I will say we're looking at moving into a house that has like an enormous number of projects associated with it, and the stress levels here at the Raph household are at an absolute all-time high as we're trying to figure this out and trying to. I think I locked my interest rates yesterday before the Fed meeting. So
nice.
Now I have like 45 days to get my act together. No, 75 days to get my act together. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's cool.
Got your hands full, no doubt.
Got the hands full for sure. So let's go to question of the day.
Oh, so I think what's been on my mind is, well, with the announcement of the team, rightfully so, I would say, kind of distancing themselves from Harmony One. What are you doing with your Jewel One pool? I mean, obviously, it seems like a pretty bad place to be at the moment. Are you moving it? Did you have any? What are you doing?
Yeah, great question. I have not had any Jewel One for some time. Where my gardens have been, I've been 100% over in Crystal Vale until I would say about a week ago, but no, a little less than that. The last time we were hanging out, I got a rare Dread Knight, or not Dread Knight, no, rare Dragoon. That's what it was. Yeah, did not get a Dread Knight.
Yep.
I would not have sold that. Anyways, I got some cashed in on some summons winnings. And decided, you know what, I need to go put those over into Sarandale. And actually now I'm thinking about moving my Crystal Vale gardens back over to Sarandale. I'm really missing out on, and you've been kind of in my ear on this one, missing out on the garden rewards and that unlocked jewel that really kind of keeps the fuel in the fire, so to speak, and keeps things going. So don't have anything there right now, but planning on, or didn't have anything in Jewel 1, and planning on moving, I think, some gardens from Crystal Vale over to Sarandale.
Very nice. Yeah, I think I had a pretty good pile still in Jewel 1, just because I think you might even have mentioned this on Discord, but I feel like I have a couple solid gardeners who are making some really good, they're pulling in like, I don't know, 7 jewel every quest run. I'm like, dude, it's really hard to turn that down. And then I looked today and I'm like, oh, the return dropped all the way to 50%. So, that the DFK team had done like they said, and they had removed a lot of the rewards from the Jewel 1 pair, and they kind of distributed it into some others. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can pull that up.
Yeah.
And if you look, the percentages are changing constantly as people are reevaluating. But for me, it was kind of a question of what do I do with it? And I think I talked to some people, and I think the percentages were there, and you see there right at the top that
Hmm.
49.83% right there tells me that the DFK team, is banking hard on AVAX and DFK chain, which is the subnet on AVAX. So I just basically moved Jewel One all straight into Jewel
Nice.
AVAX. Not financial advice, but of course, but
Right.
um, I'm gonna chill there for a while and we'll kind of play it by ear. But yeah, I had a really hard time shifting all of it to Crystal Vale because my gardeners were gonna make me, that I was
Hmm.
gonna be sad missing out on that income.
I hear you. Yeah, I moved when I did this in Serendale the other day. I split between Jewel AVAX, Jewel FTM, and Jewel Matic. Those just seemed like the right places for me to be. But
Sure.
yeah, I looking at this right now. I think it'll be end of night. Again, not financial advice, but I'll probably be unloading my crystal gardens and moving it all over here. So
Yeah, and that's one of those things too where I don't want to rob from future
Peter.
nine dwarf either, right? Because I'm over there earning that locked crystal that my miners are, they're going to be shifting over there at some point. So I need their time to be valuable. But it's kind of a hard toss up. It's another one of these chances where we got to reevaluate our portfolios, I guess.
Yeah, one thing that I've been thinking about being in the summons game, and I've been trying to do some, like return on investment calculations for Gen Zeros right now. And I'll be honest, they don't look like great. It's not like a slam dunk like it was. Like if you pulled a Gen Zero on initial mint, like you made your money
Oh yeah.
back like after 3 days. And yeah, obviously I'm exaggerating a tad. But anyways, right now you don't really it's like second level summoning that it feels like where you start to make your money back. And so
Yeah.
finally, I had been holding on to a lot of paladins and dark knights, and that series of heroes that I'm summoning together, they're going to create, or they have created some more profitable summons between them. And so it's almost like you kind of gotta really degen on this. Again, not
Yeah.
financial advice. Um, and so there is even a part of my brain that's thinking like, you know, with the rewards on gardenings being slower than they were initially with either the launch of Crystalville or what they were in Serendale earlier in time, would I be better suited to put my jewel or my crystal to work summoning heroes instead of hanging out in the gardens? But I
Yeah.
I still want some in the gardens. I feel like that's a nice healthy investment.
Right. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure the sage that I'm using tonight, I think he's the output from one of our Gen Zero summons that when we split that pair.
Right, I think he
Um,
was.
so I'm pretty sure like you said, so it's like that second order. And I mean that was
It's a
what,
third
6 months
order.
ago he was still
Yeah.
on? So holy cow.
Yeah, and you pulled a Dread Knight, so I mean, what are
Dread
those
Knight,
uncommon
yep.
Dread Knights going for a minimum of?
6 or 7 somewhere in there, 7K,
Ooh,
6K.
I mean, yeah, that's getting zeroing in on Gen Zero money there.
Maybe someday I'll get back in the game. Just you wait. I'm still sitting on too much of that $7 jewel that
Yeah,
I.
that's painful to let go of for sure.
uh,
All right, so let's transition over to Dev Dive now. I want to talk about the what a couple of the new things that you've done. I have some images here on screen that I'll bring up.
yeah.
So we have pictures for our heroes. I could not be more excited. This is awesome. Tell me about that.
So it was so hilarious. Like, so I'm not a great social media guy. I like never really do it. But I signed up. I do have a Twitter account just for this for the site, and I don't ever check it. So they annoy me with their emails of what you're missing out on. And I just happened to see an email in the title. It said something about Mr. Zipper, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. He's got good stuff. I'll click it. And it was Mr. Zipper saying that the DFK team, released a URL where you can basically download the images of your heroes, like just with the URL. And I'm like, no way. So this was not on my radar, and then it immediately became something that I'm like, I know how to do this in about 10 minutes. And so I popped it into the site on my dev computer, and they just popped up, and I was like, I pasted into the chat and Discord. I was like, hey, what do you guys think? Because like this just kind of came out of
Uh,
left field. So big
okay,
shout out to
yeah,
Mr. Zipper on that one.
yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zipper, the legend. And yeah, it adds. Oh, it adds a lot of character. So much time we're
It
spending over
does.
here. It feels it really kind of connects you to the game, which takes us to we had our meeting with we're working on a co-marketing application. Big thank you to all of you out there who gave us a shout out on Kingdom Builders. So we had a meeting with Sunbear today about getting whitelisted on the as a co-marketing application, and so we're going through that process. I hope we're something like a week away on this one,
It
maybe two
sounded like
weeks away. Pretty
yeah,
darn close. So I'm pretty excited about that. The conversation itself, I felt was great, and we actually ended up kind of evolving the conversation, inviting Brad Pitt from DFK Fight Club in, and we ended up actually talking about our DFK Fight Club raffle application as well. But let's take a moment to talk about the first conversation. So, how did you feel that call with Sunbear went?
yeah, I think it was great. I mean, honestly, because he had looked it over and we talked with him. He's like, this is going to be pretty straightforward because he's like, because you guys aren't. He's like, you're well within all of our terms of service. That's kind of the stuff they're looking for. Like, we're not actually doing anything on chain. We're basically just a data analysis site.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yeah, he's like, this one's going to be a slam dunk. He's like, it'll be really straightforward. Just fill out the forms. It sounded kind of like it was just procedural at this point. So
Right.
that was what I was hoping to hear.
That's exactly how I felt it went. So we have a little bit of homework just to finalize what the site's going to be. Some of our bios are we're doing a little bit of doxing for the team, which makes sense. And I'm ultimately really excited about that, and it feels good. I've actually talking to Thanos about this, and kind of exciting to see some good progress or some positive momentum in this direction with the community stuff. It has been at times, and obviously it makes sense. For their focus has been distracted, and the grants have gone away, and they need to be focusing on what their priority ones are. And so the fact that they can even spare a little bit of bandwidth to support this program is pretty awesome in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah,
Quick
go ahead.
interrupt here. Just saw the announcement from the DFK team.
Oh,
They're going to hold off on
mining.
crystal and gold mining for a day or two because they found a small issue and they said they want to, in true form, as they always have, they want to basically give us the best product. So they're going to make sure that that small issue gets fixed up in the next day or so. So I thought that we might as well throw that in. This is literally hot off the press. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
actually
for
cool
good.
with that. I
Yeah,
haven't shifted any of my heroes over, so
I didn't shift any of mine either. And I truthfully don't have that much to mine over there either, so I guess that's all right with me.
yeah, good point. Yeah, I guess that's true. Compared to the locked jewel, I don't have near as much locked crystal. Well, and also a bit of degen form bought a lot of my locked jewel. So
Right, right. No, it's actually it's kind of painful to think about how much we bought the lock jewel for too.
oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Like
it's just it was no, we earned it. It was
yeah,
earned. Never mind.
right. All right. So then as the conversation progressed, we're like, hey, let's just talk about the raffle ticket application that we're also doing in partnership with Joseph. I call him Brad Pitt from GFK Fight Club. We had the tournament this last weekend. I feel like we're picking up a ton of positive momentum there. Big shout out to Franz and the Blogside chat crew for
Oh yeah, they
helping
did a lot
organize
for
that.
us.
I mean, the manual organization of that was amazing. So awesome job, guys. And I was like, this is where I felt like the nuggets or the meat of the conversation was, and I feel like I have a couple pieces. I don't know if I'd quite call it alpha, maybe it's beta, but I don't know. I felt pretty encouraged in having the conversation. What stuck out to you when we started talking about this?
Yeah, I think the basic difference is I think that we need to keep in mind is for the co-marketing applications, for websites like ours and some of the other ones out there. there'll kind of be a portal on their site where here's a list of all their affiliates they'll come, or they're I think that's probably the best term I can come up with. But when you think of in terms of Fight Club, where Joseph's actually considering doing, actual some on-chain integration, he might actually be able to get whitelisted on DFK chain, which would be really cool to be one of the first.
Right.
Um, that if that goes through and he gets approved, he'll actually show up. His game, a link to the game will show up in the gesture in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like one level more, of awareness for this entire DFK community. You're not 2 clicks away, right? Where you got to click to the website and then click to the uh, co-marketing applications and stuff. He's literally going to have a link if he gets approved in the gesture, which is in the castle. And I think that was the other thing that Sunbear had mentioned is that they're in the real short order. They're looking to get the same sort of gesture, sort of NPC over in Crystal Vale to again feature parity and or shifting focus to Crystal Vale.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he said that they're planning on moving the entire raffle ticket, like the dual system, over there, and then,
Or at least replicating it.
I almost interpreted that as like moving it over to Crystal Vale and leaving it there during this kind of like time of uncertainty. Now the movement of Serendale to a different chain has been pretty much outright confirmed by the team, even in the AMA. Like they're talking about that, and I don't know if they have it selected, and that we did not get any name drops, so we don't know who it was that they selected. But I think that's pretty much that's going to happen. Some of the things that stuck out to me from the conversation, there are 2 groups working with them right now on the raffle ticket integration. That's DFK Arena, which everyone knows about, and DFK Fight Club. So I'm really excited that Joseph's product is being promoted like this, and we are we're there. And a couple other things that come with this. So it sounds like they're going to allow for third parties to buy tickets at a discounted rate, raffle tickets. And then they're going to have some set of rules and criteria for how they dole out those raffle tickets as a winning mechanism for the battles that they have. And the DFK team is going to want to be very involved with that entire process. And so the next meeting that we're going to have is with the man, the myth, the legend, Fox himself, which I'll try not to be in a little bit of celebrity shock when we do that.
Little drool coming out there.
Right, but I'm really looking forward to that. And then ultimately what they're starting to line up is that they need to build kind of the rules around this integration system, and they do want to put forth a community vote that kind of stipulates not every single. It used to be like we were going to vote on every single project that funding was going to go towards, and they're going away from that style system to more of a general community vote to, do you support supporting third parties in this way, X, Y, and Z laid out. And they are very cautious when it comes to, third parties potentially abusing the system. And credit to Joseph, he's talking through as many transparency mechanisms as make sense for the DFK team and for the community themselves too. And you had a really good idea of like even getting that code or the algorithm for fighting out on making that a public resource so people can understand how to play the game and how we're going to eventually be giving out tickets.
Yeah, that's right. So I think I could summarize it a little bit by saying that it's kind of like people who are integrated with the raffle system are kind of like getting a wholesale price, right? It's a little bit discounted, but it's going to be interesting how it pans out because raffle tickets are wallet bound. So you're almost going to buy the promise for raffle tickets, if you will, as a third party entity. And then, when someone plays DFK Fight Club
Right.
and they win, then the code that Joseph's going to have to write here will effectively use some of those promised raffle tickets and then deposit them to the address of the winner. So it's kind of it's not actually a token transfer because they're wallet bound. So there's there's some nuance. I don't need to get down into the weeds, but yeah, largely it's kind of like a wholesale purchase price. So, and then Sun Bear, he's like, obviously you'll probably have to charge more because you're going to want to pay for your own costs and like typical business stuff, right?
Right.
Um, and then yeah, to your point about posting like the algorithms, I think that's just as good for like auditability. If you're ever curious, like why did I why did I how did I lose 50 HP on that move? It was you could technically then go look up the algorithm, find the hero, and do the calculations and see that yeah, in fact the math is right, and there's not some behind the scenes server tweaking stuff, right? That's kind of what the DFK team proper is a little nervous about when it's off chain.
Right.
So there's going to be this hybrid, I think, and I think that's where you're going to see a lot of these cool games come. Personally,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. One thing that I thought was interesting, and we've kind of already talked a little bit about the dumpster fire of Harmony at the moment, so we don't have to go to my podcast notes, which is talk about that more. That's just a little too depressing. But I actually thought in a really good way, Sun Bear was towing the company line that we've heard in the last, I don't know, 3-4 AMAs, that priority one is to get parity over in Crystal Vale. Priority 2 is to get Serendale sold to another blockchain and to get that launched and to utilize future grant funding from that program to help bolster and support their team, continue to pay for the Kingdom Studios overhead that ultimately needs to be covered during this time of Jewel, I would say downside or downturn, the bear market.
yeah.
So I appreciated that he was kind of towing the company line in that way, and it seems like throughout their entire, I don't know, with who we're talking to, everyone is kind of on the same track of mine.
Yeah, and I think I was really intrigued by, at least I think this is what I pulled out of the notes from the last AMA too, that this, if they actually do have to move the chain and Jewel has to transfer, there is a unique opportunity for them to solve some of those problems. Like, how are we going to handle all this Jewel unlocking and just flooding the market? There's going to be I think there's going to be some pretty interesting choices that you'll make when Serendale moves. And say you're sitting on 10K lock Jewel, I bet you're going to have several choices. You can either move it, as is, or I bet you're going to see some very interesting alternatives. So that's my prediction, is that you're going to see some cool things that are going to allow you to either gain items or maybe some sort of bonus in game in order to keep that Jewel locked up and sort of help this team solve this Jewel problem.
Yeah, and when you look to like Perilous Journey, I would say is in a similar vein to this, and in that way, I would say like you were making a burning investment in that case, and it ends up that the rewards for that ended up being more lucrative than anyone could have predicted. And so I, for one, I again, not financial advice in this podcast, but I see myself, really wanting to, probably ape into an opportunity like that, especially since I'm a full degen on DeFi Kingdoms, as everyone here knows. All right. Anything else that we had with our kind of standard programming for the night before we go to the King Sumo?
Yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot else other than we've added. I did also. People were in Discord were asking too about the coloring of the visual genes orange when you're comparing two heroes, so that you can kind of tell who's has mutation abilities.
Yeah.
So I just did that real quick too. I think that's the only other thing I've gotten pushed out recently. There's been some other behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on, and we'll get to that in future episodes.
Yeah, I saw that and realized that the two Gen Zeros that I'm summoning with for the King Sumo giveaway also have an advanced visual mutation possibility. So that's
there you go. Neat. See, it just jumps out at you had to count okay, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Now it's just there. It is orange.
Yeah. All right. So here we are about 3 minutes away from the King Sumo ending. I'm going to try to end it early. I've never done this before.
Oh
I'm
boy, he's gonna
honestly,
break it.
I'm a little nervous about just totally breaking the crap out of it. Um, Changing
This
it.
site's used a lot. You'll be fine.
All right, yeah, I'll hit the save button. Okay. All right, so giveaway updated. Click here to view. Giveaway ended. Okay. So I
So
gotta
now
go.
you got to pick the winner, which is just a roll based on how many entries people have. Isn't that correct?
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let me refresh. All right, ready to award. And there was some, I thought some good feedback from our Discord community of like, are you doxing someone? You know, when you show their email address. And my purpose behind showing the email address is we really want to be transparent as possible with these giveaways. And so I guess I'll put the burden back onto you that, you know, you don't have to put your name up like when this is awarded to that email address. Like you don't have to say in the YouTube chat like, oh, that's me. Like, and you know, we're just trying to be as transparent as possible as we're giving away these heroes that hopefully
Yeah, and
will reward you well.
honestly too, it's like when these heroes are given away, we kind of really keep hoping for like a mythic giveaway, and it's really cool when you either sell a hero to somebody you kind of know or you give a hero away. You love seeing those. Oh look, here's this hero that had an awesome level up, and it's like if that's a giveaway hero, it's like yeah, share that on Discord. Like, we love to see that stuff. Like let's hear your success stories. You know.
All right, no McKev on at gmail.com. You are the winner. So you had
Wow, probability of 2% of winning that.
2%.
Great
So
job.
I think that's going to bode well for the summons here. So let me go ahead and start the summon process. Have the pop-up window for MetaMask.
And while this is going too, right? Anybody who's watching live, we're gonna keep the summons going afterwards, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we'll probably right after this is summoned, I'll hit stop recording on the podcast version, and then we'll continue. We'll go live and we'll do some screen sharing like we did last week. That was a lot of fun.
Perfect. It was. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. You know, it's a summoning, right? But I'm gonna throw in an egg hatching too. I figured, what the heck?
I like that. I thought as a joke, I was gonna say like I'll do my egg hatching too, which has just been selling my eggs. But that does not make a good live video.
I've had a couple. I don't know if my luck has increased or it's just that my hero count has increased, which I think, yeah. Anyway,
All
I'm
right,
up
so
to like
here we go.
15 green.
All right, so
Oh, here we go.
here we go. Okay, so no McKev, we are waiting on this, and you have a warrior
Oh, yes.
with a
Looks shiny. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it's shiny.
looks like we got a nice foxtail. We got some horns on the head there. A nice shiny sword. A very stylish blue garb.
Yep.
You know, you usually go with uncommon. Are you feeling uncommon today? What are you feeling?
Given the level, since you had mythic and rare, I'm thinking this is a rare hero
Right,
personally.
that's what I was thinking too. Is rare as well. So let's jump back to that. So we have a warrior, we have a knight, and so we have a 23% chance of hitting a paladin. So you got the warrior, but hopefully maybe we get like warrior. That'd be great. And then hairstyle. I don't think that was an advanced hairstyle based on
Yeah, I'm
what
not
we
used
see
to him
here.
yet. See, this still got to learn some of this.
Yeah, for sure.
All
Okay,
right,
so I'll
let's
go ahead and
click
click
it.
that. All right, we have a common
10 of
warrior.
10 to see warrior pirate. Okay, so what profession did you roll?
All right, so let me go ahead and punch this over into the site for the big reveal. All right, Ice Stone. That's a good last name. That's a strong.
I think
last
it is
name.
an advanced hair color.
All right,
Is that
we
like a
got
purple?
warrior. So
Oh, it's a pure.
yeah, we got a pure for you. Yeah, we
Oh,
have
that's
hair
awesome.
color is advanced.
I thought so. It's
So
purple.
purple. That is
That's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
that's pretty sexy. All right, so yeah, we have warrior pirate mining. Wow,
Oh, a
that's
pure
pretty darn good.
miner.
Pure
That's
miner. So that's actually going to be worth something.
Oh, no
Some
doubt.
decent scratch there for sure.
Honestly, with the pure miner, the rarity really doesn't matter a ton.
Yeah, and stat boost of endurance. All right.
Yes.
For the green stat boost, so that'll help with the, help with the mining there for sure. So
Go back to
that's
mining. Did I see an arts 2 mining real quick? Yeah, okay. So you do have R2 mining as well. So that
Yeah.
that adds a couple percent points.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Okay,
All in all, that's a solid hero.
so congrats. I will shoot you an email tonight and say, send me your OX address, and this common pure warrior 10 of 10 summons will be coming your way. All right, so for that, we're gonna go ahead and close out the podcast now, and go on. We'll continue the YouTube live stream.